All right, now that we got all that done, you've seen the performance for like 1080p, 1440, and 4K. I want to go through and show you my optimal settings. These are the ones that I'm usually using. So full screen borderless is a no-go. So you want to have this. It's ideal that you have it in full screen exclusive. This is going to be for my 4K setup. So I run a 4K monitor. It's an ASUS XV282K. That is a 144 hertz monitor. So it's really important that if you have like a FreeSync monitor, you want to go through with full screen exclusive, and then make sure that it's the correct monitor. I always just double check that that's like, obviously you want your GPU, you don't want like a iGPU, one that's going to be with your like CPU. Just make sure you have the correct refresh rate and your display resolution. And then aspect ratio, you can just leave as automatic. Every time you're going to change anything, like if you have a graphics card drivers update or anything like that, I always just restart the shaders. So you'll just click that, restart. And then when you get back into the game, it'll go through and just do your shaders. Display gamma, if you're going to be running on a PC monitor, 2.2 is the best. And then if you're going to be using a TV, you'll want to use 2.4. So brightness, that's another one of those things where you just do that to whatever you prefer. Eco mode, I leave it at custom, and then I leave both of these off. These ones, so VSync gameplay, always have it off. It's crazy if you leave it on. VSync for the menus, that is a personal preference. You could set that to 50%, whatever you want, because it's going to be in the menus, so it's not a big deal. And then custom frame rate, I leave it at unlimited. And this is another one where you can always leave your gameplay. This is blocked out because it's on unlimited, but you could set, I wouldn't recommend setting this because this is essentially the same exact thing as VSync. So with the menus though, you could leave it at 60. You could have this on, I think it's, custom. Focus mode, all that's going to do is if you have a second monitor, that's going to, like whatever you set this to. So if you have it at 100, your second monitor, you can have like, Discord running and it will be completely blacked out. And that just helps you focus only on the game. But I am not running a second monitor on this right now because that will give you just a little bit more of a performance boost. So it's ideal to have no other monitors running, especially when you're gaming at like 4K, because you want your GPU solely focused on your main, like your monitor that you're playing the game on. And then HDR, I leave off. And then if you go over here to quality, you're going to see your graphics preset. You want to do this on the main menu, by the way. You don't want to do this in the middle of a game. I'm still tinkering with this. I just had it set down there. So if you have this at 100%, it'll be rendering at your render resolution that you have selected right here. So 4K is going to be 3840 by 2160. But now this is when we're going to get into the performance mode. So if you bring this down to, see if I can find the magic number. Yeah, there we go, 80%. So if you go to 80%, 4K, it's going to be rendering it at 3072, 1728. And trust me, you will not notice at all once you're done doing all of this. So dynamic resolution off. Upscaling, I leave this with Fidelity FX CAS. You can select, so I use an AMD card. You can have FSR 2.1, but I have not noticed, and this is something that Call of Duty is not taking advantage of at all. Sometimes I'll notice like 5 FPS lower when I'm running FSR or, NVIDIA image scaling or anything like that. This is something that I would just avoid for now. And then if you have an NVIDIA card, you'll see DLSS up there. I've seen some people recommend using NVIDIA image scaling, but personally I use Fidelity FX CAS. Fidelity FX CAS. It's very challenging to say. And then if you hit show more, I just run it at 100%. And then that's going to make it so this is going to be sharpening itself, and you will not notice this dip at all. And you can alternatively use RSR, which is Radeon Super Resolution. That's going to be in your drivers, or not your drivers, your Radeon software. So I'm not running that right now, though. I use just Fidelity CAS. It's so hard to say. Fidelity FX CAS at 100%. And down here, 90% for your VRAM scale target. And that's something I would definitely recommend if you're running like a 7900 XT. So you have 20 gigabytes of VRAM, right? You can run it at 90%. because I'm not running a second monitor. I'm not, I don't have like 5 or 6 YouTube tabs open on another screen. I'm running that on a different PC if I'm playing by myself, just like watching a podcast or something. So yeah, I run that at 90%. And honestly, even with like Discord, and then I was running a 1440p monitor before this. So just even a couple weeks ago, I was running that. And I did have my second monitor connected to this, and I was still, watching whatever I wanted on that other thing while playing. And I never, not once, have come even close to hitting my VRAM. So you don't really need to worry about that. However, if you are running like an NVIDIA card, so I had a RTX 3070 before this, and you only have 8 gigabytes to play with. You can hit that pretty fast. So, you can go to 90 until you actually hit it and you have a problem. Then you can scale it down. But I think the default is like 80%. Variable rate shading, I have that off. So before we go down to details and textures, I just want to, I yapped a little bit during that. So you want to have render resolution at 80% if you're on 4K. If you're on 1440 or 1080, you honestly don't, you can leave that at 100. But for 4K, 80%. Dynamic resolution off. Upscaling Fidelity FX CAS, 100%. VRAM scale, 90%. And variable rate shading off. And then let's go down to texture resolution. This one, I would definitely have normal or above. You can run it at low too. Honestly, yeah. So some of these, if you really want to, you can turn them down. Normal texture resolution, texture filter antistrophic, and anisotropic. Okay, normal. Depth of field off. Detail quality level normal. Particle resolution high. Bullet impacts on. You can turn that off for a little bit more performance, but it does make, I don't know, there's something about it that just feels stupid if you don't have them on. It just feels like, I don't know. There's something about it. I leave that on. Persistent effects off. Shader quality low. On-demand texture streaming off. And then let's go down here to local texture streaming quality low. Then moving on to shadow and lighting. Low for shadow quality. Screen space shadows low. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflections off. Static reflection quality low. And then down over here in environment, tessellation off. Volumetric lighting volumetric quality low. Deferred physics quality off. Weather grid volumes off, and water quality off. And now I know you're probably thinking like, bruh, I spent, you could have spent like $1,000 on your graphics card, and you're thinking, why the hell is this stranger telling me to turn everything down and off and low? But I promise you, I'm about to jump into a game after this, and you're going to see what I'm doing. Like, are you going to see like, the effects of this? It still looks really good, to be honest with you. It does not look like a potato. And if you're like a competitive player, just turn everything down because you just want max FPS. But this is to prioritize getting over 144 FPS average on a 4K monitor and still being able to be competitive, but you're still seeing a good looking game. You know what I mean? So sorry about this OSD. I got this pulled up because I'm running the benchmarks and I want to have it in the center so I can have 3. You know what I mean? So should have probably said that at the beginning. I've been talking this whole time. So let's go over here to view. If you're going to be playing competitive, especially if you're on PC, dude, if you can, just run this at 120. Run your field of view as high as possible because it's going to give you a huge advantage on the game. Yeah, I got that at 120. ADS field of view, you want to have that as affected. Weapon field of view, wide. Now this one, okay, dude, if you switch this to wide and then you at any point go back to default or narrow, the gun feels like it's taking up the entire screen, and it feels, and same with field of view. If you turn these back to what they're typically at, like field of view back at like 90 or this back to wide or back to like default, you feel so sluggish and the movement feels so slow. So if you're running like 120 field of view with the wide weapon field of view, the movement, it feels so much faster and you have a lot more visibility. And you're going to be able to like catch targets a lot quicker. So moving on down here to the third person field of view, I don't play third person, but I just put it at 90. Vehicle field of view wide. So just real quick to go back over it. Field of view 120. ADS field of view affected. Weapon FOV wide. Third person FOV 90. And vehicle field of view wide. And then you want to go down here to camera. World motion blur off. Weapon motion blur off. And film grain at 0. These are things you want to definitely turn off in almost any game you're playing. You want it to be as sharp as possible because you can see right here in the example, like if you, so say you have an enemy, like say there's an enemy right here in this corner, and you are, even if you're moving, you're going to see an object right there. But right here, this is blurring out. It could be a trash can for all you know. So this will give you an insane advantage if you have no motion blur at all, especially with the world motion blur. You know, it's better just to have both of these as sharp as possible. First person camera movement, least 50%. Third person movement, 50, least. Third person ADS transition, third person ADS or first person. That's one I forgot to change. So I put it at first person. Spectator camera, game perspective, or helmet cam. I like helmet cam actually, but inverted flashbang. This is one that's really nice. If you turn this on and you get flashbanged, it's not going to absolutely blind you, especially if you're playing in a darker room. It'll just make it darker instead of like bright white light. And especially the flashbangs in this game, the effect lasts so long, dude. You get flashbanged and your screen is all white for like 3 business days. It's crazy. Yeah. So if you go to interface, and then you'll be able to see, I leave subtitles off unless I'm playing, you know, a campaign or something. I'll turn them on. But yeah, subtitles off. You don't want anything really getting in your way. You know, I could show you this really quick. So if you scroll down on the bottom of the readability tab, or the readability inside the interface tab, you'll see color customization. So if you pop this open, you'll be able to see all of your colors. This is just something that, you know, it's nice to know where it's at. So you can change the color, you know, say you want the enemy to be like a kind of a purple. I don't know. It's up to you. This is a personal preference for sure. If you scroll down to your color filter settings, color filter, I use 2. Color filter target, both. World color intensity, 100%, and interface color intensity, 100%. So that's just going to make it pop a lot more. And then if you go back and you see HUD, scroll down here, we got HUD bounds. This one is going to be controlling, you know, where your HUD rests at. So if you're playing on an ultra wide monitor, like a 21:9, I like to bring it in. So it's your HUD is gonna be where it would be if you had a 16:9, but you have that extra view on the sides. So let's go ahead and move down here. Minimap shape, square. This one is a personal preference for sure. I mean, I've never really tried circle, but I like square. And then same with rotation. I leave rotation on. Let's see. This is the big one right here. So crosshairs. If you watched my videos and you wonder why I don't have the typical looking crosshair right here, I just have a center dot, and you want to do that, this is how you do it. So turn crosshair off and then show more, and you'll want to hit center dot on and then the large dot scale. So center dot scale is larger. You could have largest, but I prefer larger. And that's just you can see the 3 differences here. So if you want to know how I got FPS, latency, and packet loss up here, go to your telemetry, and it's probably by default, it's going to be all off. Oh yeah, it said default right there. So show more, and you want to do custom, and then just check whichever ones you want to see. So, you know, if you want to see where your GPU temp is, you know what I mean? You can just check that, and you'll be able to see it up there while you're playing, which is pretty nice. But these are the 3 important ones to me. Packet loss doesn't matter as much, but I like to be able to see my FPS and my ping, especially for console, you know, because with console, when you're hitting tab on the scoreboard, on PC, you can see everybody's ping on the scoreboard. But I know with Modern Warfare 2, you could not see it if you were on console. So telemetry, that's how you do that. And then, yeah, these are my optimal settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and get it in a game, and I'll show you just how it plays. I've not played today, so I might absolutely goof this up. Dude, I swear this loading screen, I accidentally turned it on once, and now It's my loading screen everywhere. And dude, I went to turn it off a few days ago. It still's there. It's like, it's still just hanging out. It's like, it's a curse of my game now, I guess. It's just going to remind me of that 2009 Modern Warfare 2. It happened, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, you can see right up at the top, we were hitting our target. Like immediately we were around 140. Look at that. Oh, dude. Hey, okay, there's a headshot. My sensitivity feels disgusting right now. What the hell is happening? Oh, it's so much better. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it was my polling rate. That's weird. Hey, I saw that. Oh, you're coming now, aren't you? Oh, I need to get breacher drones. There's no... How did I... bruh. Watch this. Oh, okay, I've been embarrassed. So you can see every once in a while... I mean, granted, we are at 4K, so... Every once in a while you will dip below that 144. But it's like a 1% low kind of situation, so... Just from looking up at it, I'm seeing, you know, an average like 160, 170, 180, somewhere around there. Which is really nice. It is very pleasant to play at, I'll tell you. That was not a headshot. Okay. What is this going to be? That's a double kill, too. I needed one of those. Send that down range, see what happens. Friendly mosquito deployed. Friendly UAV online. Dude, the quick scoping is definitely slow as hell now. I don't know what happened to this. The sniper used to be so good. Alright, where you at, buddy? I'm gonna send one of these down here. This hallway right here. Yep, there they are. Who's that shot? Am I about to get a care package? Let's find out. ACER. Where am I gonna throw it? Not a good idea, but I'm doing it. Go ahead and turn that on. God, I walked at that so slow. Hey! Yeah, I keep looking up at the FPS just to see where I'm at, but I should probably get my head in the game, huh? Watch this. That was the most inefficient placement of that thing. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah, right. Cool. There's a trophy over there still, yeah. I don't know why I threw that. I know you're there. I know you're there. Oh, come on, man. The whole team is down there just waiting for me. What am I at here? So I need to get one more breacher drone. It's crazy. I could have swore I just got a double kill. Alright. That was really bad and embarrassing. Okay. Do be flinching. Watch this. Hoop. Peek it. Come on, man. Oh. Oh, that was embarrassing. I swear, dude, this thing was so good at quickscoping when like the first time I used it. And now it just feels like slow. Alright, there's our other breacher drone. And send another down. I think I just got the last kill. You know, it's weird. Right here on the victory screen, I'm getting lower frames than I was seeing. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. All right. I'm on TV. It was pure luck, too. I did not expect to get that. All right. Performance of the century. 13 and 12. But yeah, I mean, you can see, you know, I mean, dude, let's be honest. For 4K, that's pretty damn good. Right as I say that, the FPS goes to like 40, but that was because it was transitioning. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't even know what the benchmarks are going to be yet. I'm about to run all the benchmarks, but yeah, I mean, to me, this is really good because I picked up this GPU for, I think it was like 730, which I mean, yeah, come on, for a graphics card, like just for a single computer part, that is expensive. But for being in, I picked it up in 2023 for $730, and I'm running, you know, over 144 on 4K. It's pretty damn good, just because, you know, GPUs are like, and the 4090 is like $2,000. So yeah, I mean, the performance, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, let's, I probably already did this was probably the last part of the video. I think I already did all the, you know, benchmarks at the beginning. So you'll be able to see like these settings compared to the just like ultra settings. So, and this is for 4K once again. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if these graphics settings work for you. They are pretty universal. You don't have to use these with an AMD GPU. You can use these with an NVIDIA GPU as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.